Alright, last night I had a dream that I was in a space, like physical space, that felt like my old middle school cafeteria. And so I was in there, but obviously it's a dream, so it's all weird and stuff. And there was like one layer almost, like imagine you first walk in the cafeteria and there's like a wall, right? Like that first layer was like a restaurant, and the vibes of that thing were like, it was like a pool snack bar, you know, like you go to the pool and they have like soft pretzels and stuff. Like that was the vibes of that restaurant thing. And then if you keep going, it also kind of morphed into physically my grandparents' house. So yeah, so you keep going, it turned into like almost my grandparents' living room, and that's what it felt like. But then again, still was like there was like another restaurant back there, and so there's like a restaurant, and also, you know, it felt like a semi-public place, like a public place, you know, like imagine like a you know, just like a bunch of restaurants and like a half circle with a nice courtyard in the middle, something like that. So yeah, so there was that, and then also that thing kind of morphed into one of my old neighbors from my childhood home. Their backyard, they have like a cool, they have like a nice, they have the nicest house on the block, I would say. I think, yeah, whatever. And so it morphed into like the last little layer of the cafeteria was like those people's backyard. And in their backyard, so again, it's a dream, so it's weird, but like there were these two layers, and like the first layer felt like it was like my family's or like a public thing, you know. And then like behind that wall there was like these people's house, my neighbor's house, and I mean their backyard. And in their backyard they were like redoing it. So like I said, they had the nicest house in the block, so like they would have the money to do renovations and stuff like that. And so like they were redoing some stuff in the back. I remember there's like a tree in the back, and again it was a line. These things were like rectangles, hard to explain, but yeah. And yeah, so there was that. And then while I was at that multiple morph into one places, I got some food, and then there was like some sort of like a small mission, like, oh, I gotta go get my food, or someone's missing their food and I gotta help complain for them so you get a refund or something like that, you know. But then, okay, so I left that dream scene, and then now I was at my grandparents' old house, my other grandma's old house in her old neighborhood. And now it felt like there was some sort of a mission, because now the house in my grandma's old neighborhood, the house felt like maybe it was like a frat house or something like that. I think physically it was actually the house next door to my grandma's old house, but now it felt like it was like a frat house, or there were a bunch of like college kids there that were about to have a party, or maybe it felt like I was in high school hanging out at a friend's house, you know, those kind of vibes. And so I was there, and then like I said, there was some sort of mission. And so I think there was a lot of like junk out in the front yard, like a bunch of trash, but not like, the vibes weren't like, oh, gross, trash, disgusting, you know. It was just like someone's like cleaning out their house, or someone's moving, and so they had a bunch of stuff in their front yard. And so yeah, we were standing on all this stuff, like obviously in the dream it wasn't real objects, but I'm gonna assume it was like a couch or like a mattress that we were standing on top of. And then the cops came, and something happened about the cops being there. And so cops, or at least some bad guys, show up. And then at one point I bailed. We had to bail because like I don't know if people were getting killed or people were getting arrested or what happened, but like some sort of bad guys, I don't know if they were cops or just like agents, like secret agents or something like that, but some sort of bad guys showed up. And I think they actually got a couple of my brothers. They like killed my brothers, or they got some of my brothers or something like that. So I bailed. And then I remember bailing out. So, you know, just imagine like two suburban houses next to each other. They both have fences, but then there's like separate fences and there's like a gap in between the two fences. I remember bailing through that gap of the fence, and then running away. But yeah, so that's what I can remember from my dream. Thanks for checking out my dream journal. I'll catch you guys in the next one.